Hello, everyone. My name is Dawn, and welcome to another episode of The Chamber Within. Here's the truth about a spiritual awakening that does get talked about, but for me was not super important at the time, and that was grounding. How do you ground yourself so that you can still appreciate the life that you're living? As for me, I have mentioned how connecting with other people is a great way for me to ground myself, but there are so many other ways that I have discovered that have been beneficial. First, you may be asking, why? Why is grounding important? And moreover, what do you mean by grounding? So, for those of you who are asking that, I'll say this. Typically, if you have a spiritual awakening, your senses are opening up in one, if not more than one way that you've been accustomed to previously. I'm speaking of extrasensory abilities, whether it's one of the clairs like clairvoyance or clairsentience or precognition, even. These events will take you into a different experience of life altogether. How you experience your body, some things may be confusing. Am I really hearing that? Where's it coming from? It could be, disorienting. It might even fascinate you like it did me. Well, once I was able to admit it was real and was not stopping anytime soon, I was fascinated. It may scare you because, again, if the experiences are new to you, it may be hard to deal with simply acknowledging that they're happening. Or if you are acknowledging it, it's difficult to integrate them into your life moving forward. Now, for me, meditation was a great way to focus and find my peace in the middle of me having a very difficult time in my life. It may also enhance your abilities. Taking DMT via ayahuasca as an adult can also alter your perceptions. There are doorways to which you can walk through, and after you have taken that trip, no pun intended, you may need some time to acclimate. While this may be very fun for some or very scary for others, what's important is the ability to still be in the body, to still take care of responsibilities, connect with people you trust and can count on. They say go touch some grass, and I don't disagree. It's very helpful to ground yourself. Now, while this term is often used metaphorically, also it has literal benefits for the body. Standing on soil, actually literally standing on soil, is said to lower cortisol levels, which is a stress hormone. Now, the following is from the electrical neutralization theory, and I quote: electron transfer. The Earth's surface carries a continuous, subtle, negative electrical charge rich in free electrons. Neutralizing free radicals. Stress and inflammation generate positively charged molecules called free radicals. Touching the soil allows electrons to flow into the body, neutralizing this positive charge and calming systematic inflammation. End quote. Now, the not so scientific but rather spiritual meaning of grounding is to bring down what has been pulled from the ether. It's a way to stabilize yourself, stabilize your frequency. It's how you anchor your body to balance out the body's form with the newfound subtle energy. We talked about subtle energy and gross mass, but subtle energy is spirit, the ethers, and gross mass is the form, the body, what you can see and touch. You need the balance so you don't fly away to the crazy house. I'm kidding, but I speak from experience, and I do say that with full compassion because I've been through it. These experiences don't make you crazy if you have the ability to stay balanced, if you have the ability to talk it out with someone and try to get some sense of what's all going on, enjoying the body and not wishing it away. You can acknowledge your gifts while also enjoying your life. This is very important. There's been tons of near death experiences that I've watched on video and various from various platforms, and They often say, "Oh, it's so nice. I want to stay here." And so that's what I mean about enjoying the body and not wishing it away. The contrast is great between what we go through every day here and what some have experienced to be the afterlife, and what I've experienced in meditation, which is pure love, and that's it. Like, just, there's nothing else. There's nothing other than that. Just as a feeling. There are other things, but I mean, the feeling of it is so intense and so hard to describe if you haven't felt it yourself. My reason for talking about grounding is because when I was going through this awakening, I would meditate daily, right? So I would wake up, have my breakfast, read, shower, and then meditate every day. I wanted to know all about the things that were spiritual. I read extensively, journaled my experiences, watched documentaries on those who went through this process over the past thousands of years of humanity. I did a deep dive. And that's why I have so many spiritual books in my stand store library, because I really wanted to find whatever it was I was looking for. I combed through it all, trying to understand what the heck was happening to me, to us as a species. However, it got to a point where I didn't balance this out with grounding. I didn't go out as much because of COVID. I tried to hang with family, but I had eventually cut them off. I didn't share what I was going through because I felt that I had to unpack it on my own. And to be honest, I really wasn't ready. I wasn't ready yet. It had gotten to the point I didn't want to relate. I just wanted to discover. It felt like a journey, but I wanted to discover all of it right now. Not in steps, but the totality of what this all meant. I was treating it like a school lesson, trying to get to the end of it, some grand answer, but life is just too vast to know it all, especially right now. I was searching for an answer that I couldn't even define. I felt that if I could just read one more book, find one more secret to life, then I would have it all figured out. Which feels really silly to say out loud, but I'm being honest. It's like I was greedy for knowledge. I was taking in a lot of information before I could fully understand it. I now know that everything comes in due time, like my mom used to say. She used to love saying that, due time, which means perfect timing. And of course, the understanding arrives when you finally get it, whatever it was that you were searching for. It'll be there when you're ready for it. Okay. So I made a little list of ways to ground the body. Um, the first one is what we already spoke of, right? Literally being on soil. I also heard that the beach sand was a great way to ground, and I'm sure being by the waves helps to amplify this endeavor. It's lovely. I love the beach. Love, love, love. Another way, exercise. That quickly pulls you back into the body. Breaking a sweat, pulls your head out of the clouds and back into your body and experience now, as it takes your focus and it pulls it into the moment. It doesn't have to be strenuous. It can be a walk in the park. May I suggest no headphones to those of us who love headphones? Because, listening to the birds chirping and the bugs buzzing by and feeling the sun on your skin or the wind through your hair on your skin as well, that'll amplify this grounding technique as well. Calling someone. May I suggest calling someone you find comforting to speak with, because it helps. Our lives have an interesting storyline attached to them. If you consider yourself a good listener, I suggest this as a grounding technique. It allows you to focus on someone else and can be very entertaining if you tend to live vicariously through others. Another one is going somewhere new so that you won't take your surroundings for granted. This helps a lot. I personally love plants, and so I enjoy visiting nurseries. I haven't been in a while, but it brings me joy. If you like animals, you can go to a PetSmart or, like my mom used to do back in the day, go to a puppy farm. Now, that's back in the day. I know it's illegal in my state, but you get the idea. Being around animals pulls you into the moment, and it just feels so calming. So, birds, puppies, random animals, a random farm, just whatever. And finally, some may not agree with me, but being around many people all at once is helpful. Hear me out. Like a mall or a restaurant, there's so much life happening around you that it's hard not to be dialed in and aware of it all. I don't suggest this if you're easily irritated by sounds like crying babies or people speaking loudly, but it does help me. I just don't like to linger for too long if it's very busy. I hope this helps someone out there who needs some grounding techniques or suggestions to get back out into the world. If you already have discovered grounding techniques that work for you, please feel free to share with me at thechamberwithin@yahoo.com, or you can leave me a voice message at speakpipe.com/thechamber voice line. Thank you for joining me this week. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.